day. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something that's been requested quite a lot through my Facebook channel, and that's a detailing 101. This is going to be the first episode and it's all about getting started in detailing. It's an absolutely miserable day. I know it looks bright, but it's actually drizzling at the moment. So now is probably the best time to get stuck into this. I'll show you around the pit as well. Don't expect much. Right then, let's get cracking, shall we? So let's start at the beginning. Ignore the state of the floor. This place is always chaotic and messy. But you're going to need buckets. More specifically, you're going to need 3 of them. So depending on which wash method you choose to use, a lot of people go for the 2 bucket wash method, and I don't blame them. So you're going to need a bucket for your wash solution, you're going to need a bucket to rinse your mitt out, and you're going to need a bucket for your wheels as well. These will always stay exactly as they are, never the twain shall meet. Obviously that's because of cross-contamination purposes. Do you really need to buy 20 litre detailers buckets with lids? Not really. A bucket is a bucket at the end of the day. So when you're just starting out, especially if you don't want to spend a lot of money, a builder's bucket is a great alternative. And I go through absolutely tons of these every year. In fact, I keep a stock, look. They're from B&Q and they're £1. When you're first starting out and you're moving buckets around, you're going to drop them, you're going to break them, or in my case I reverse over them. Don't ask, I think it's an age thing, but at £1 a go, it doesn't really matter what you do to them. Now we're moving on to what we're actually going to put in the bucket. These are grit guards. Now, the purpose of a grit guard is twofold. First of all, the idea is you drop it into a bucket, your wash solution goes in there, and the idea is when you rinse your mitt, you rub it against the guard and the dirt falls down inside, and it doesn't get trapped, but it's less likely to float back up to the surface, so it keeps debris in the bottom of the bucket and away from your solution. Now, in my experience, it doesn't exactly work like that. I'd still use them though for the purpose of agitating the mitt and the dirt against it. The cleaner you can keep your mitt, the less marring you're going to induce onto your paint. And they're cheap, they're really cheap. These are £3 now. As you can see, it doesn't fit this bucket in any way, shape or form. But a pair of side cutters all around there, you can cut them down to size to make them fit. I've got 3 of them, one in the wash bucket, one in the rinse bucket, and one in the bottom of the wheel bucket. Now, the wheel bucket, I agitate the brush over there, does help keep the brush nice and clean. They're not essential. When you're first starting out, just having a bucket of clean solution to rinse your mitt in is going to reduce the marring you're going to put on the panel significantly. But if you can stretch to it, like I said, they're only cheap. They're worth the investment. So now we're going to move on to what you're actually going to use in contact with your car. Wash mitts. Now, I favour the chenille mitts now, primarily because of how soft they are, and the noodles. The noodle's ability to lift dirt away from the surface safely. It also holds it in there until you release the dirt in your wash bucket. There's also microfiber mitts as well. This G-Technic one I've had for longer than I care to remember, and it's lasted really well. Not as soft as the chenille, but it does do a good job. When it comes to wheels, I do sort of skimp a little bit, just flat microfiber wash pads. But that said, they're about 320 GSM and they are reasonably soft. I use those on the faces of the wheels, so basically once everything's been brushed out and rinsed, then I'll go back over with shampoo to do the faces of the wheels. The wheels are fairly clean by this stage, so that's not so bad. Same goes for dedicated wheel wash mitts as well. Nice little thumb part there to get your hands at the back of the spokes. That's a Dodo Juice one. It was quite cheap as well, but it has lasted quite well so far. When it comes to wash mitts, this is one of the areas where I recommend you do actually spend a little bit of money and you go for something of decent quality for two reasons. One, they're going to last you a lot longer, and two, this is what's making contact with the surface of your paint. You want as good a quality as you can afford. Other than that, take that yellow sponge out the bucket, throw it away. So now we're going to move on to brushes. We'll start with brushes that I use externally first. Again, I haven't spent an absolute fortune of money with these. This fella has surprised me an awful lot. I actually got this from AliExpress. It was worked out to £1.88 shipped. It's microfiber, plastic handle with a foam grip and a little foam guard there. I've actually ordered 10 of these because at that price, why wouldn't you? It's not going to last forever, but it is extremely soft, very, very soft, and it's very good at agitating dirt. I keep these aside for primarily gloss black wheels because brushes like this on gloss black, it's not going to fare well. You are going to mark them, you're going to swirl them, and it's not going to be brilliant. At £1.88 a go, you can't turn that down. For the intricate nooks and crannies, the good old Valet Pro sash brush. Again, they're not expensive, but I think they're £3. Great for around wheel nuts and little apertures like that around valve caps, and also getting right up close against the rim and tyre. They're very, very good. I did venture into wheel woolies, and as you can see, this one has been yeah, that's been well used. Again, they're not too bad. Not my preferred brush, to tell you the truth. Once they're wet, they tend to go quite flat. These were actually the Auto Finesse version. I don't know if the genuine wheel woolies are any better. I've never had the money to try them. They're okay. I've also got a smaller one there for spoked wheels, and as you can see, I don't do many spoke wheels. It has been used a couple of times, but yeah, not my favourite. This is something you would probably recognise straight away. It's a generic nylon brush. Now, they are reasonably aggressive, which is the reason I don't use them on gloss black wheels, because it's going to leave a mark. Without a doubt, it'll leave a mark. But if you've got real dirty wheels and they need a real good scrub, this is generally what I'll reach for. Again, not expensive. I think that was £6-7. Best advice I can give to you guys when you're starting out is shop around. If time is on your side and you can afford to wait, AliExpress is a good option, and other sites like that as well. Don't forget eBay. eBay are always good for the odd bargain. Tyres, I featured this a while back. This is the Into Detailing rubber scrubber. As you can see, that's had a lot of use. Very, very good. Very, very stiff, but it's very good at getting your tyres nice and clean. For larger vehicles and 4x4s, I use this fella here. It's a little bit softer than the rubber scrubber, so you do probably need to sort of persevere with it a little bit. But when you're doing vans, 4x4s that have got high profile tyres, I mean, look at the width of that. That covers a lot of area quickly. Again, £3-4, not a huge sum of money. Moving on to interior brushes, again the Valet Pro Sash Brush. They're great, they last a very, very long time. The bristle ones are reasonably chemical resistant, and like I said, they're not expensive. Cheap Chinese brushes. Now, they're nylon, so they are going to be quite chemical resistant. Engine bays, all that sort of area, they're absolutely fine, and you can normally pick up a pack of 5 or 6 in varying sizes for about a £5. An even cheaper alternative, and believe it or not, these are excellent. These are paintbrushes from Lidl. They come in a variety pack, so you got flat brushes and round, are they called kettle brushes? I don't know. But the bristles are super soft. A pack of 6 brushes is probably £3.99. The wooden handle, so they're not the sort of thing that you want to get wet, but around dashboard vents and in tight little nooks and crannies around centre consoles, gear sticks, that sort of thing, cup holders even, they get in there. They're firm enough to loosen the dirt, but I have yet to scratch something using these. Absolute bargain. Drill brushes. Now, again, cheap. You get 4 in a pack plus a little extension bar. They're about £5-6. I don't use them on fabric because they are stiff and they are aggressive. But for clearing up floor mats, rubber mats, carpet even, they're pretty good and inexpensive. Another Valet Pro brush. This is great for getting down the side of seats. It really is amazing for getting down the side of seats. Not cheap, it's about £11, but it's stiff enough to move really stubborn dirt, but it's not nearly as aggressive as what these are going to be. So for those croissant crumbs down the side of the seat of the console, that's the fella. And finally, for the interior, one of these rubber pet hair removal things. These are an absolute lifesaver when you're doing cars for pet owners. That it just absolutely gathers it all together and it gets the job done in half the time. Again, eBay, £2.50, £3. So when it comes to brushes, wheel brushes, I'd say invest a little bit of money, primarily because the quality is going to last you longer. Similarly for interior brushes, but you don't have to go crazy. And your workhorse brushes, they're going to get worn out and they're going to end up getting thrown away, so don't go berserk. And so moving on, we've looked at the buckets and we've looked at mitts, we've looked at brushes. Now let's start looking at machinery. When it comes to pressure washers, you can get really carried away and spend an awful lot of money on them. I've been using Nilfisk now for the best part of 15 years, mainly because I was just dissatisfied with Karcher. I mean, there's Karcher fans, there's Nilfisk fans. You know what? If you find something that works for you, great, you crack on and carry on with it. Neither of these machines were particularly expensive, especially that one, but I'll get to it in a second. This is the C110 range. I think it was about £100. Believe it or not, this gets used, or was getting used, 3-4 times a week for 5 years, and it's never ever really given me much trouble. The pressure switch is gone, which is why in previous videos you can hear it firing up when it's not in use. Okay, after 5 years of loyal service, I can forgive it for that. Moving on to this fella here, this is the Titan Extra, that's the C130. It's got the internal reel and everything built in, which I don't use. I picked this up at a car boot sale, not working, for a tenner. Now, I brought it with the intention of pillaging the pressure switch from that to fit into that. I got it home and it actually turned out it was a fuse, so thank you very much. That was the absolute bargain of the century. So when it comes to pressure washers, I mean, I'm assuming that you've got an external water and power supply, but when you're using hose pipes, there's no reason why you can't detail efficiently with a hose pipe, as long as your pre-wash is pretty much on point, and we'll get to pre-washes in a second. As long as that's on point, you can actually get decent results and wash reasonably safely as well. We'll get to that in a little bit. So let's move on, shall we? Looking at what other stuff you need. Now, vacuum cleaners. You see a lot of detailers using a lot of expensive vacuum cleaners. I've got a Henry. That tends to do a better job than most of it. It's an old Vax household vacuum cleaner, but it's 2000 watt and it absolutely sucks golf balls through hose pipes. It works, so I'm not willing to replace it. This was an absolute bargain. This is Parkside from Lidl. It's a wet extraction vacuum. It was $59.99 and it works brilliantly. I've also got a compressor with airline as well for blowing things off, and you know, running little mini polishers and stuff. We'll get to polishers shortly. Not essential, absolutely not essential at all. When it comes to drying your car, which we'll move on to next, nooks and crannies get blasted out with a leaf blower. Now you do see detailers using car dryers. Fantastic, they really are a good thing, particularly the heaty ones. I haven't got the money for that. This was 20 quid on eBay. It's a Bergman. It doesn't blow a hurricane, but it gets water out of nooks and crannies, which is exactly what I want it for. 20 quid, I think? That's not bad, is it? That's not bad at all. And while we're on the subject of drying, consider drying towels as well. There's different varieties, from the cheap and cheerful car plan ones, which in fairness, for the money, they do a pretty decent job. They're not particularly thick or cushioned, and you will have to wring them out a little bit whilst you're drying, but hey, it does the job perfectly fine. Same go for the Asda drying towels as well. These are actually reasonably good quality. I've had them a while and they wash and clean up fine. About 3 quid, but to get you going, I don't see why you wouldn't want to buy them. Then you move on to things like the twist loop drying towels. I'm not a fan of these. I'm really not a fan of them. That edging is just, I don't like it when it's in my hand. There's nothing wrong with them, they dry absolutely fine. I just don't like the knit of the fire. I mean, as you can see, there's my handprint. They are very, very nice. It's just not my cup of tea. They're about £10–11. Like I said, they do the job absolutely fine and they are reasonably safe. But I've been spoilt. Korean microfiber. This one is actually 1250 GSM. Look at that. Now this is plush, super plush, and I can dry with confidence in this. Very rarely I'll actually drag a towel across the paint. I prefer to drop the towel onto the paint, pat it, lift it and move on to the next section. This takes no prisoners. There isn't a single drop of water that escapes this. Not cheap, 23 quid I think. Absolutely love it. Had it for over a year and it washes up every time beautifully. And while we're still talking about washing, let's pause for a moment for bottles. I've been criticised for the bottles that I use. Listen, I'm tight. I'm really, really tight. And if I can find a bottle that's cheap and it works, I'm going to use it. Wilko is a very good source for cheap bottles. This is a 2 litre pump spray bottle. It's quality wise, it's not amazing. It really isn't amazing. But I go through bottles at a fair rate of knots. I'm always dropping them. They break, they shatter. Yes, a quality bottle will withstand a lot more abuse, but inevitably I'm going to end up breaking it. So when it comes to bottles, I tend to go on the cheaper side. Undoubtedly, something like an FK bottle is going to last you infinitely longer, but while you're starting out, things like this are absolutely fine. Reasonably chemically resistant, but not ultimately. I think they're £2.99. You can't go wrong with it. On the opposite end of the scale, you've got something like this Karcher bottle here. Now this is quality. This really is quality. I mean, they've both got adjustable nozzles. But as you can see here, this one is you can move it around and you can reposition it. It looks like a Dalek's beak, doesn't it? But this is, the second you pick it up, you can feel the quality of it. The plastic is much thicker. I've dropped it 5-6 times and it survived. So that's the opposite end of the scale. That's £2.99. I think that's £13.99. So, you know, you do get what you pay for with bottles. It's just that I'm super tight. When you're first starting out, you're going to drop stuff. Get the cheap one and see how you get on with it. Then when you get used to handling the bottles, moving it around, getting it in all sorts of positions, then progress onto something a little better. Same goes for your larger chemical bottles as well. This is what I use in my my pre-wash. Got TFR in this. I've had it for 2 years. It's been perfectly fine with regards to chemical resistance. I've had citrus pre-wash, snow foam in there. It's actually got HD's road range in there at the moment. And look, again, it's from Wilco's. It's a 5 litre bottle and it was £8. Snow lances, again, I haven't gone absolutely berserk. This is one of the older ones. No, I have had this a very long time, 4 years maybe. I mean, if you look at the end of it, it's it's seen some miles, this has, but it wasn't expensive. You're picking these up on eBay for around about £11-12, maybe £15. With your snow foam lances, once you've used it, unscrew the chemical bottle, put the pickup pipe into a bucket of clean water and pull the trigger for 30 seconds. It flushes everything through and it negates the need for constantly swapping the filters if they're in these. This was also an amazing bargain. MATCC, so no prizes for guess who they're copying with this. This was actually £8.50 on eBay. Again, shop around when you're looking for products, guys. Don't just go to one place. Always have a look around because somebody has always got a deal on. That is brilliant. Head and shoulders above it. This one works fine, absolutely fine, and I use it for just a shampoo solution. That one is solely for snow foam. The foam production from this, and I've used a lot of different foams in it, is absolutely spot on. Again, same sort of maintenance as that. Flush it through, it's going to last you a hell of a long time, and when you're first starting out, there's no need for spending £60 on a foam cannon. And while we're still talking about basic equipment, we really do need to have a look at applicators as well. As you can see, I like a variety of different applicators. So we have microfiber applicators. Now, you can use these inside or outside of the car. Again, these are from eBay, I think. They weren't a huge sum of money, probably, I think, a £5 for 10 of them. Little hand pockets in the back, which are handy. You have to excuse me, I'm normally wearing gloves with microfiber. I can't stand the feel of it. And you can use them for virtually any sort of purpose. Because they're so cheap, I generally use them as kind of a workhorse pad. So if you're applying polishes around door shuts, slightly grubbier areas that don't matter too much, they're absolutely fantastic for that sort of thing. Similarly, for paintwork as well. Now, these are slightly better quality, that they're a lot softer. AliExpress, I think a pack of 10 delivered was again a £5. The quality of microfiber with those and those are a world apart. These are far far softer. I use them for application of liquid sealants, QDs, that sort of thing. Super spongy. Absorbent, sometimes a little bit too absorbent when you're using liquid sealants and things like that, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. But again, nice and cheap. Foam applicators, I've got some Ultra Bright Direct ones. They're okay. They're nice and squidgy. Decent size in your hand, so you can get a lot of areas covered without much time spent. Again, not an awful lot of money. Black Hue foam applicators, AliExpress again, and I think they were 10 for £3 delivered. Tie dressings, I've even used them on waxes and they've been fine, but at that price you can afford to throw them away. Don't always get bargains with applicators. These are the Bad Boy Classic ones. Do you know what? I have absolutely no idea what sort of foam this is. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. If you're trying to get that fluff off, if you're trying to spread a wax or a sealant with these, it doesn't spread. I've tried using them on dashboards with dressings as well. I have. They're just not very good at all. So again, best advice I can give you, shop around. You can go mad on applicators and you could spend an awful lot of money on them. Realistically speaking, as long as they're soft enough to spread a product without leaving marring, then why do you have to spend an awful lot of money on them? Yes, you can wash and reuse. I wash and reuse these, and to a certain extent even the foam ones as well, but ultimately they're going to wear out and throw away. They're a consumable. So people that spend £7, £8, £9 on a single applicator, I can't see the sense in it. Again, shop around. AliExpress seems to be a fairly good source for things like this, and it's usually free shipping because they don't weigh anything. eBay also have bargains going all the time as well. The key word to this whole video really is shop around to get your bargains. And so now we're going to move on to products. Now when it comes to products, there's a million out there. Best advice I can give to you, you're on YouTube, which is probably the greatest source of information out there. Watch a few videos, watch a few reviews, contact companies, see if you can get samples of the products so you can try them before you buy the bigger bottles. And always shop around, guys. You wouldn't believe some of the bargains and some of the offers people have got out there. As you can see, I've got a variety of stuff. Good talking about offers, these guys have always got bloody offers on, or easy, or how do you pronounce it? Is it Easy Car Care or EZ? Answers on a postcard, please, guys. Drop it down in the comments. Try a few things until you find something that you're happy with. I mean, a lot of people stay loyal to a particular brand, and no prizes for guessing who I'm loyal to. Primarily, I've been using them, all these products from this company for 15 years, and they've never ever once let me down. Not the cheapest in the world by any means, but they work, and that's what's most important to me, is that they work and you get good results. So generally, just have a good look around, shop for according to your budget, but try and get the best that you can for your budget. With regards to standard sort of chemicals, really, you're going to need a shampoo, you're going to need pre-wash, so snow foams, citrus APCs. Again, this is a really good one. This is from Velatin Products. It can be used as a pre-wash. You can dilute it down to 20:1 for using it as a general cleaner. They're very, very good. So your basics are going to be snow foam, APCs, and a good pre-wash. Following that, when you want to protect the car, but you want to do it nice and easily, things like rinse sealant SI Max from Easy. Not too bad. I mean, you're not going to get massive longevity from it, but hey ho. Beads, go back and watch the review. It's probably the most versatile rinse sealant or quick sealant that you can ever use. Buy trade sizes because it generally works out a lot cheaper. Get the smaller bottles first to try them, then if you like them, bump up to the trade sizes. Also things like fallout removers, alien blood, Troll's Breath, these aren't expensive products. They're really not expensive products. Clay bars, I always have and always will use Built Amber Autoclave because it's not a lot of money. It's about a tenner, but you'll probably get 4 to 5 cars out of that one box. More importantly, you can use water as a lube. These things here, these are the cheap eBay clay bars. They're rubbish. They are absolutely rubbish, which is precisely why it's in this bag here. I'll use it for claying wheels. That absolutely knocks this into shame. Oh, speaking of shame, not guilty. Somebody has given me this and I absolutely, no, it's not my cup of tea at all. No, not going there. Now, I'm talking about shopping round and looking at getting the best value for money you can from certain brands. Don't shy away from some of the smaller companies. Quattro Automotive, the quality was excellent for the price. Similarly again, Mile Deep, genuinely, everything that I've had from Mile Deep so far has been off the chain with regards to performance and quality. Really super stuff. Then you've got your staples that you pick up from Halford, like Autogleam and things like that. Again guys, I've said it throughout the video, the keyword is shop around, because there is always somebody out there with a deal on the go. So your basics are your citrus APC for various reasons, snow foam for your pre-wash, shampoo. If you want to protect it, go for a rinse sealant. After that again, if you want to go the extra mile and start topping it up, look at QDs. Surprisingly, that is amazing. The Voodoo 2.0, the water behaviour off that is fantastic, and it lasts about a month. Very good gloss. Where's it gone? I've done a review on that one as well. Luxury gloss, that's a pretty good detailer as well. The Hydro, I did that, I think that was the last video uploaded. Pretty decent, not fantastic in full sun. This stuff, however, and you can see how much of this I use because I buy it in the gallon, absolutely brilliant. I'm not here to recommend products to you guys, to be honest, because this is a journey you're going to have to go through on your own. But that stuff is incredible. And then you're moving on to waxes and things like that. I've got a few. Soft 99, they always represent really good value for money, primarily because of the size of the tin for the price you get. I've got King of Gloss, I've got Fuso Coat, I've also got the King of Gloss Light, which I will be doing a review on this year. And as always, Poor Boy's World. The Natty's Paste Waxes, they're just so darn easy to use and they're brilliant in full sun. They're not a bad price either. So yes, products, watch reviews and look for offers, see if you can get the smaller bottles to give it a try, and just move on from there. And finally, one of the other best advice I can give you for when you're first starting out is try and keep your workspace far more tidy and organised than mine. It's half my garage, so it's 8'6" wide by 8'6" deep, and the rest of it work gets carried out on the drive. Second-hand workbench from Marketplace, stainless steel, 30 quid. Put up shelves to get your products easy to grab, easy to reach. Cheap racking from Wilkinson's. The plastic stuff's brilliant because you can spill any chemical you like on it, and it keeps you more organised. Same with things like these, the organisers. I mean, I got all my drying towels in there. Ignore the junk. I am a mucky bugger. All the chemicals on the racking. I've got drying towels in there. Keep brushes in there. Spare unused wash pads. Microfiber cloths. As you can see, these are used on paintwork only. I do have two different grades. Soft 500 GSM for buffing. I've also got work towels as well, which are twin-sided, 320 one side with a flat pile on the other side. That's for paintwork, primarily because you want a nice soft cloth so you don't mar the surface. General purpose towels. Yes, I am a mucky bugger. Your general purpose towels, you can pick up something like 30 towels for a tenner. You're going to use them inside the car, interiors, that sort of thing, where you don't really have to worry about swirling stuff. Glass cloths, good old Wilco to the rescue. These are really good value. Fish scale cloths, really good towels. I think they're about £3 each, and that's it really. Just general purpose run-of-the-mill stuff. I'm not going to go into polishing pads and machines in this video because I've been waffling for 36 minutes right now, and I'm pretty sure you either want to go to the loo or want to get a cup of tea. But that's basically it when you're first starting out with detailing. You don't have to spend an absolute fortune to do it. With regards to pressure washers, don't go berserk. No need to spend £400 or £500 on a pressure washer for something you're going to use once, maybe twice a week. With regards to equipment, again, I'm not doing this 24/7, 7 days a week, so I don't have to go out and buy the fantastic professional grade stuff. And to be fair, it works absolutely fine. I mean, that's had a lot of use so far and it's fine. That vacuum, I've been using that for years and it's fine. Snow foam lances, chemical bottles, that sort of thing. Again, why people spending £15 on bottles when you're using them once or twice a week? False economy, I think. And your products, again, and this goes for absolutely everything: drying towels, wash mitts, microfibers, physical products. Shop around, guys, because there are deals out there. If you're unsure about it, watch reviews. If the reviews are positive and it sounds like something you might want, buy one of the smaller bottles or see if they do trial size bottles first, just to try it to see if you like it, and if you do, crack on. Hope that's useful to you guys. This is the first episode getting started. The next episode is going to be a safe wash. How to, well, not necessarily how to, but how I safe wash a vehicle. So keep your eyes peeled for that one. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit subscribe. Hit the notification as well so you don't miss uploads. Currently, I think this will be the 52nd video I'm about to upload, so you've got plenty to watch. Thank you very much to all my subscribers. 611 this morning. I'm blown away. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed though, please consider doing it. I really want this channel to get up there now. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. I hope I've been useful today. Apologies for waffling, and until the next time, keep it shiny.